need another scandal. It has to be something a lot more scandalous than this conversation. Like we're gonna be struggling to outdo Kyle reading that letter or the resignation letter last week.
I honestly,
it's
I think Erica Kirk and JD Vance having the same eyeliner is pretty scandalous.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty excellent scandal, honestly.
Yeah.
And we can talk about all that more. And
every time I hear K-word.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Business List, your source for stories inside the party, across the country, and around the world. We are LP Alliance and Intercaucus Coalition, rebuilding the Libertarian Party and revolutionizing the Liberty Movement. My name is Amanda Griffiths. I'm joined by Rob Yates. I'm joined by Rose Leatherman. Am I joined by Jeremy Ficklin? Have we decided this? Or is he? Okay, so he's here. Hi, Jeremy. I'm not joined by Kyle Davis. He's barely here. Everyone, how are you?
Are we sure that Jeremy's authorized to be here?
Yeah, look, if Terry gets to be in the front screen for Are You Smarter Than a Politician, then Jeremy gets to be on the front screen here sometimes. That's just how it works.
Fair.
It's equality.
So for everyone signing in, I'm just going to go ahead and make this big announcement. We all voted, and we are changing the name to the Trump business list. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. To the Trump business list in recognition of the wonderful service Donald Trump has on the board of LP Alliance.
I missed a lot.
Yeah.
Did you see the Kennedy Center thing?
Am I just overtired or...
Trump changed the name of the Kennedy Center to the Trump Kennedy Center.
No, the board voted for it, and it had nothing to do with Donald Trump forcing it. Nothing.
Well, my favorite part is there's one board member that's a Democrat, and she was like, I did not vote on this. I wasn't even allowed at the meeting. And I'm like, you gotta respect them for just like...
Thank you, everyone, for your attention to this matter. Dustin is correct. I'm looking honestly at this right now, in case anyone didn't know, and I'm confirming this via X because what a time to be alive.
Apparently, it's fully under the purview of Congress, so it needs a vote, like an actual.
Are we still talking about the Kennedy Center?
Yes. Oh, you're not?
Wait, does Congress has to authorize the changing of the name of the Kennedy Center?
I mean, there were news articles that said it. I didn't go in and confirm further.
What kind of Soviet system is this?
I don't need to know the details of this one to laugh.
Anyway, less funny news. So I'm looking at this as though the police have identified a suspect in the Brown University shooting and possibly the MIT shooting as well, and they are currently surrounding a storage facility in Salem, New Hampshire. No word, by the way, on where Jeremy Kaufman is himself.
Those are too funny.
We don't know. We've been trying to get in touch with him.
He must have had those tweets, the ones that he knew were gonna generate all sorts of controversies set to auto post to create a diversion so that he could escape after these shootings.
Exactly.
We're on to him.
Exactly. We are, and I just hope this storage facility has heating. It's quite cold. So yeah, that's. Should we start with the tweets from New Hampshire?
No one should start with the tweets from New Hampshire. No one.
I don't want to. I never want to report on this.
Are you talking about the Brown shooter thing, or more? Or is that just for the joke? Because the joke was good. If that's it, it was worth it. But
I was. I was going to segue into the calls for disaffiliation yet again of LP New Hampshire in light of their post about gun regulation, firearm regulation, that they're saying was satire, of course. Does anyone... Okay, so yesterday...
As a white guy on this that's not running for anything on the LNC, and thereby this can't be clipped to specifically nuke me, they specifically tweeted that black folks should not be able to own guns. That was the initial thing that they went for.
So their claim is that this was a satirical remark based on the fact that people are always calling for, for stricter gun regulation, and that if people really cared about stricter gun regulation, they would take guns away from Black people. But because they don't, and it's all virtue signaling, it's BS. So they're trying to make a claim about how nobody is actually targeting the real threat while still also being against stricter gun regulation. Here's the problem with all of this is that the gun laws that we have on the books today, a lot of them were actually racially enforced gun laws. Yeah. A lot of them were attempts to keep Black people from having. Much of the reason why gun regulations are much stricter in cities is because these are racially motivated regulations. So that already happened, and their joke, if we can call it a joke, I use the term loosely, is pointless because people have already done that. People have already done that.
If this was like a consistently principled libertarian affiliate that, I don't know, like
done
normal
once.
Well, no, like if this tweet was put out by a normally principled affiliate that normally was spot on with their messaging, I could buy that explanation. At this point, though, they've done the same few jokes over and over again that what I'm thinking is that, look, this is a racist statement being presented as if they're just making an argument about how it's, oh, no, we're just using an example because we're actually anti-gun control. Okay, we're just trying to get people to think about it. Hiding behind that when in actuality, it's just a racist tweet.
We do have an even newer tweet.
It's several layers, rather.
We have
a racist tweet hiding behind a joke, hiding behind a racist tweet
for you. And I challenge you to think of how this could possibly be racist or anything but satire. It might be better for, this is a quote, it might be better for liberty in the short term that Vivek be governor. Not entirely sold on that, but it is certainly worse for the direction of America as an ethnicity and culture. Did you know that American was an ethnicity?
Yes. That's what the Aryans always like.
He is not American, hasn't assimilated or intermarried, hasn't done any of the things the founding fathers of America said to do other than learn English, and many does he have done that. He rejects American culture and our founding principles. So for the American ethnicity the founders set out to grow, to the very people that defined what American is and all their prosperity, electing Vivek is a failure. This is horribly written, even for LP and AJ standards. I have to say that. I didn't read that all the way through.
Jeremy Kauffman has been kicked out of his house. He's living on the streets. And
he's hiding in a storage facility. I mean, he's surrounded right now. He's having his internet connection's bad. The cops are right out there. He's having trouble.
When you're running your LLM off of a literal potato, it's hard, all right? You know how most kids, like you make the potato lamp and you plug the light bulb in, you run the wires, and like the potato powers it, starch is magic. See, he's doing that same thing, but with an entire LLM.
I mean, is it the same LLM that Ben Weir used for his LNC email?
I don't think,
because honestly, that one did a better job. So that's true. That's true. Okay. Hasn't intermarried. Now, this is interesting because I've also seen quotes from LPNH condoning only mingling with your own culture / race. So you should both do that and intermarry. And
well, no, see, it's okay if Vivek marries a white person, because then in their mind
but it's not okay if a white person marries Vivek.
Exactly.
Okay, then they're a race traitor. But if Vivek marries a white person, he's assimilating. Got it. That's fantastic. Yeah, Ben is very pro Vivek, Phil. This might just be LPNH signaling their new direction.
Look, I'm just saying, Dustin's funnier than I am. We should get Dustin on this show.
We should get Dustin on the show. Dustin did a great job on our Spotlight stream, and he should be here tonight.
Apparently, he sounds like he'd be a great candidate for the Eggplant Caucus.
Exactly.
He rejects American culture and our founding principles.
No, he doesn't. Dustin's awesome.
Fairly hysterical. No, is fairly hysterical to me, as well as the ethnicity, the American ethnicity that the founding fathers set out to create. Now, maybe because I spend a lot of time, admittedly, studying other revolutions, I missed reading. There could genuinely be writing by one of the founding fathers about an American ethnicity. I'm not sure. It's possible. I would reject that, but that could be. However, I don't see a citation there. I don't see anything about the founding fathers trying to create an American ethnicity. There is certainly a lack of verifiable evidence that Vivek Ramaswamy is a libertarian. He has some libertarian policy overlap, but ultimately is kind of more of
He's
a
just a tech
milquetoast
bro.
populist. Yeah, he's a populist tech bro. And I mean, a lot of libertarians are into that, so good for them.
No, the whole point in having him
But-
to the convention was that like him and Clint Russell debating, like the whole point was to highlight the difference between a libertarian and a nationalist, right-wing nationalist. I mean,
He
people
is a
can argue over how libertarian Clint Russell is. However, even in that specific case, he looked very libertarian compared to Vivek. Okay, Vivek is not a libertarian. And anyone still
You're just
attempting the paleo
gatekeeping.
strategy at this point, just, yeah, go away.
Go join the RLC.
Seriously.
RLC needs help, especially after the speech that Donald Trump
Ugh.
gave last night, which okay, I was not expecting it to be anything. Everyone was like, he's talking to declare a
We're gonna have to
war
come
on
back to the
Venezuela.
RLC from Michigan, but yeah.
Okay. First of all, if Donald Trump were going to declare war on Venezuela, he would not do that in a address. He would clear war on Venezuela via meme coin. Okay, so that was right out. No, so it was just a standard list of things that he had accomplished in spite of the terrible legacy of the Biden administration. Says that he inherited a mess 11 months ago, and now he is fixing it. He's talking about how our border was being invaded by 11,888 murderers, more than 50% of whom killed more than one person. And that was Biden's fault. He talked about inflation being down, wages being up. Talked about gas
By what
prices.
measure?
In fact, wages. So I was looking at a fact check on this, and again, so it's a fact check, so take it with a grain of salt. But evidently, wages are up. They have outpaced on inflation so far under Trump.
Sort of.
Yes. However, inflation is not down. Prices increased by 3% year over year in September, per the most recent data.
There's more than that. Did you see this data report?
Which one? The inflation report?
The actual economics report.
The one that they were trying to not
That
release.
they based that 2.7 number on.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so but this is what always
They
happens.
left out
right?
like a few
Well,
very key statistics, like just not
Mhm.
they zeroed. I mean, they made assumptions that were absurd.
Well, if
But-
you stop counting the things that are actually increasing in price the most, yeah, you
But
can make
so
it look
that's,
like
and
things
that's
are.
what they do on the CPI normally, but this one was different in terms of calculating the rate because they
What
didn't
do they do?
collect. They didn't publicly collect data for like 3 months on some of this stuff because the government was shut down, which also affects this significantly in terms of playing in. Then they made assumptions, and so
Right.
they're starting from the zero base. I was looking at it earlier. I forget the exact category, but it's real easy to find.
They always start from the zero base, though. That's the thing with inflation is so that the Fed has an inflation target of 2%, but that 2% is
No,
always
I'm
year over
saying
year.
in calculating the
Right,
2.7, not like
right.
coming from the opposite direction. Like how bad was inflation last month?
Right.
It didn't start for it's a wild little magic with the pencil.
Right. Yeah.
Well, I love the way they say, "Oh, the inflation is down. The rate of inflation is down." Okay, that's like saying that if your rate of weight gain slows, you've actually lost weight.
Right. No. So this is exactly
It's-
correct. Rose
yeah,
is right. That
Things are.
the Fed's inflation target is 2%, but if there's 5% inflation one year, they still start at an inflation target of 2% for the next year.
Uh-huh.
So, and there's
Yeah,
always
not
there's
minus 3%. Like, yeah.
a bunch of
Okay,
debate
our
about
lives
makeup
are still
policies.
getting more expensive.
Oh, did they do it on that side too? Because they actually just fudged the change in numbers, is what I'm talking about.
I'm not. I mean, so they always do it on that side. They always fudge it in that way. The Fed's been doing that for ages, where they'll have their target inflation rate, and then it'll just be up, and then they'll still set it at 2%. But I'm not surprised to hear that they're also fudging the numbers in the other direction.
Yeah.
Right, but don't worry, we're going to get a Fed chair who loves low interest rates. Because
I mean,
that's
it's all silly. It's all silly. It's just
It
ways
is.
to, like, beyond that, prices are still really high, like insanely high. I gotta go shopping for a family, and it's ridiculous how much groceries cost. And like, I'm okay, you
fuel
know, but
costs.
for
Yeah.
some people that really hurts. And then to
Mhm.
have someone come on and like, I mean, it's no different. Biden would get up there and wander after shadows and forget where he is, and the press secretary would come on and be like, he's sharp as a tack. Like, this is what we just, and people just pull the goddamn wool over their eyes.
Well, we saw the same thing. Like near the end of the Biden administration, their talking point was, not that they were going to actually address the economy, but actually the economy is great. We just need to convince everyone that it's actually great. Okay,
And
everyone's just propagandized to think that it's bad. We're like, this is so clearly not going to work. Well, okay, now who's doing the same thing? The Trump administration. Same exact talking points. This economy is great. What are you talking about? What do you mean you can't afford what do you mean you can't afford to get by? What do you mean you can't feed your family?
I did love Jen Psaki.
It's a Democrat hoax.
Accusing us in the way back. I missed that. Accusing us of being upset because our Pelotons were too expensive.
Well, she's okay. So it's all this just smoke and mirrors by the government. And the Psaki bomb was a great example. I remember once Peter Doocy asked her, it was during the COVID thing, and she's going off about how great Biden's doing. And Doocy was like, over the same 2 time periods between Trump and Biden, there's been like 800,000 more deaths under Biden. How can you say he's doing better? And she's like, how can you compare this administration to the last one? We're getting people to get vaccinated. We're making sure people are masking up. And it's like, it's Thomas Sowell's perfect example of like, the government, the bureaucrat will always favor process over results.
Yes.
Right. The talking point last fall or fall 2024, it's you just don't like the price of eggs. You're going to vote for the wrong candidate because you don't like the price of eggs. Now it's whatever Amanda said. What was it? We don't like the price of this time again.
Jen Psaki was the Peloton. We're upset that our Pelotons
now
were
it's
too
by
expensive.
2 balls, not 32.
Yeah, exactly.
The worst part of this is that Trump's first term, he actually had 3 years of one of the better economies in American history. Whatever else you want to say about him, like by every measure. But then he's the one who blew this up. It was
a bubble economy, but that's why people voted for him, because they just remember things being affordable. I remember my family we were in pretty good shape back in like the 2016 to 2020 era. Bubble economy.
I don't think so. Because we kept hearing we were going to go into a recession, and then the yield curve, it reverses and everyone's freaking out. But usually the biggest indicator of a recession, like in the immediate economics, is like wage growth starting to go up exponentially. But we're in this weird situation where so much of the growth was with like contractors and boomers leaving and younger kids coming in. So wages were actually going down. Real wages were going down.
So
relative, or whatever the other term. I don't know. I think it was a pretty good economy.
I hate to be that guy. But post unconventional economic policy, post unconventional monetary policy, recessions just look completely different. When you basically have a situation where you have the the surge protector, and you can just plug the extension cord back into the surge protector via interest on excess reserves and quantitative easing, which I always hate that name to tell you anything about what it is. But that just allows the Fed to continue paying itself and then putting money into the market and taking it out.
And that's why you will always end up in a recession. But
but
we were being told there's going to be a recession like next week, every day for a year and a half. I was working in the risk department, market risk department at the bank, and just like all the economic analysis, they thought it was going to collapse for like a year and a half.
Right.
But it just kept getting better. Unemployment kept going down. Prices were staying stable. Inflation was like 1.7%. It was working.
That's true.
I'm not here to defend Donald Trump.
It looked good because they had the ability to effectively. It's like your car is running low on fuel, and you just put a sticky note to block out the low fuel light. It so you don't see the problem.
See, I think it's more
But-
like your car's running low on fuel, but you're trying like a hybrid battery or something, and it's totally new at the time. I don't know what was going to happen, but it wasn't doom and dire at that time. But then he was the one who blew it up. He shut us down. $6 trillion? We are in this problem right now. Everything that's wrong economically is because of $8 trillion just being poofed into existence during COVID.
And then torched.
We didn't even get the value of printing it on paper. It
Right.
is absurd how much
You
you
press
just
a button,
devalue everything or the currency on and drive up prices. That's why we're in a mess. But then for him to
So-
come on and say $2 instead of 30, who the hell is buying $30? First of all, like what world is still in trouble?
My aunt,
Going out, just gonna pick up $30. But then
my aunt collects Barbies.
Does she really?
does she buy 30
Yeah.
at a time though? I mean,
She collects the classic ones. Like when she was little, they couldn't get them, right? Because like she was not wealthy. And so now like she's a little older, she's got a little more money and things, and so from time to time she buys herself one of the classic Barbies to have all the Barbies she wanted.
Those are worth a ton of money. I knew
Yes.
someone who like they apparently had the original Barbie doll and like sold it at a garage sale or something. And that thing's worth like millions of dollars now.
Gosh.
Everybody wants Barbara Miller.
I've got a bunch of
Oh, I
Beanie
still have all
Babies,
my
so,
old
I mean,
Beanie Babies in the basement. Yeah.
tons
I
of-
remember when- yeah.
I
I was a
Beanie
kid
Babies.
collecting them. My mom's like, this is a total scam, right? I'm like, no, these are going to be worth money. This one.
you never know. I'm waiting for the
Beanie
Beanie Bubble. I really
Yeah,
am.
we missed that. There was like a
Um,
very brief period where you could get thousands of dollars for a rare Beanie Baby. I still
have a
have,
Princess
yeah, I
Di- I
had that
still
too, and
have
I had it like in a
Princess Di Beanie Baby.
plastic case
Yeah.
with a tag protector on it.
Yeah.
I got a bunch of N64
That's
games that
amazing.
are actually worth like $100 each.
Nice.
Trump has also claimed that he is slashing prices on
But he
drugs
didn't
and
play Mystical Ninja
pharmaceuticals by as
Goemon,
much
so
as
fuck him.
400, Kyle, 400, 500, and even 600% claims to have slashed drug prices by this much. Just so everyone is clear, if anyone slashes drug prices by 400%, that means that the drug company is paying you three
No,
times the
Amanda,
cost.
Amanda,
I mean, some of these drugs
They-
that are
they
coming onto
just
the market, they would
misreported-
have to pay me to take
No,
them,
this is-
so.
this is fake news. The media misreported it. He slashed drug dealers by 400%.
No, I'm reading
Yeah.
the
Slash
transcript.
drug
The fake
dealers
news
by
from the media.
300% so that to
Killed
make
all the
room
drug
for
dealers, plus the other
the
people.
government approved drug dealers so that they could pay us to take their products or something to that
Yes.
effect.
Amanda, you said they'd have to pay us 300%.
That's what I'm
No,
hearing
if
here.
he's slashing it by 400%,
to
that
be
means
correct.
he's paying it three times the cost of the drugs that we're
So,
getting paid 3 times the cost.
Maybe we're misunderstanding. Maybe he's getting paid 3 times the cost to help out the drug company.
That could be. He's slashed prices for 400% by himself. Very good. Or by 400% for himself. He has also claimed. So this was a bit from the fact check that I thought was silly, and this is again why fact checks can be dumb. So he says next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time. Fact checkers point out that most of the tax relief will go to people in higher income households. So they'll receive more of a tax cut, which stands to reason because they're paying more in taxes. So if you're doing an across the board tax cut, then yes, people in higher income households are going to have more of their money rebated to them. That was silly. The rest of it talks a lot about how he's bringing manufacturing back to the U.S. through his tariffs. Once again, tariffs, everyone, as we all know, are soft planning. You're essentially saying, I want these jobs, and if they are the lower skilled jobs that can very easily be automated, I want us to be less innovative as a country, and I want us to have to get these goods here, these supplies here, while still also using materials from other countries to build the centers that are creating these supplies through menial labor that is rote and that alienates workers and that ultimately can be outsourced to robots very easily. It is soft planning. It is silly. And no one likes it. Except for Donald Trump.
At this point, listening to people who defend tariffs, it's like listening to people who are advocates for state socialism. Okay, like it's all based on what's supposed to happen, even if you can see right in front of you that the opposite is actually happening. They still go on about how, yeah, but it's going to do this, this, and this. It's going to bring back manufacturing. It's going to cause better products. It's going to cause lower prices. It's going to restore jobs. Like, except none of that is happening. In fact, things are only getting worse. Prices are still increasing. More and more people are losing their jobs. And yeah, things suck just as much as they did when Trump first took office, if not worse.
Well,
things just suck worse by the day.
Here's what I missed from before Trump taking office. I don't recall this, by the way, but Trump says that we had transgender for everybody. That is a quote. We had men playing in women's sports, transgender for everybody, crime at record levels. What is that, like we beat Medicare? What is transgender for everybody?
Well, it's no longer a luxury. Now
it's not
it's
a doll
to everybody.
Obviously, because you're limited how many of them you can buy. So
you're only allowed to buy 2 transgenders.
It's a universal, basic gender affirming care, I guess.
I guess so, but as he said, he didn't say transgender for everybody. He said or transgenderism for everybody. He just said transgender for everybody.
Yeah. You get
Everyone's
your very
transgender
own
now.
personal transgender friend sent to your house.
Maybe it's a steak with ketchup.
Oprah came out. Don't you remember this? Oprah came out. You get a trans, and you get a trans.
He's pandering to the chasers.
Everyone thought
I
they
guess.
should meant Trans Ams. No.
They're deporting criminals. Washington, D.C. is at levels of safety. I mean, when you militarize the police, I guess you can call that safety of a kind. It certainly makes things safer for the politicians.
Yeah.
So in that sense, talking about
how first time I decided I really hate the government.
When
I was
you were
like
born.
7 years old. I'm from DC, and we're like out in DC, and you got to wait like 10 minutes for some politician's motorcade to go by, and all the cops. And I was like, who the hell is that? These people are the worst. So, I mean, I guess for them, what is it going from a police escort to the military being out on the streets? It doesn't affect them. Like,
once again, we're just normalizing the militarized surveillance state against citizens, right? So all of the posturing that we see in Venezuela is not about doing anything with Venezuela. It is about creating the perception of a perpetual internal warfare state and the government on high alert. That's what this is. Trump is talking about us getting more money in our wallets and bank accounts. Again, it's not hard to put more money in people's wallets and bank accounts. It's called a helicopter drop. You just push a button. You don't even need to get a helicopter anymore. You just push a button and then there's money in your account. That doesn't actually increase the value of anything. And it is the same argument that you will hear levied against something like universal basic income, which is that doesn't actually change the value of things if you simply, increase the supply of dollars. So what you see ultimately in that case,
you have to have some serious price control along with it, and then those create their own problems. Otherwise the price floor will just rise across the board.
And people escape this through cryptocurrency now, which is part of why we're seeing crackdowns on that as well.
Uh-huh.
People find a superior product, a superior way of demarcating value that is non-inflationary in certain crypto cases. And then you get punished for it. You get penalized for it. So we have that to look forward to. This historic trend will continue, he says. Secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth. It doesn't necessarily. And again, this has been accomplished by tariffs. So jobs of a certain kind, economic planning is what it means. When the government, and he talks about these jobs being created in the private sector, when the government pumps money into a particular sector, I don't think you can call that the private sector anymore.
You can, as long as you define the government as part of the private sector, which is what state capitalism loves to do.
I think private sector is more for like Palantir meetings, Epstein's network. That's their private sector that they pump money into.
Uh-huh. And they'll call that the free market, and yeah.
Alexa
people,
does have a
think that
good
that's
point
what
here.
the market is.
I seriously doubt Trump knows this, but some people do consider the term transgenderism offensive because of the fact that it suggests that there's an ism, and thereby being trans is somehow a thing. Like, it's a thing.
Right.
So,
But I also think that she's correct that I think that you're correct that Trump and his people would not know or care about that.
right.
Transgender for everyone. It wasn't gender for everyone, care for everyone. It was just transgender for everyone. I'm still stuck on this. It feels like we beat Medicare.
He's trying to get the chaser vote. Okay, they're a significant part of the population. You'll get your
Jeremy?
very own transgender if you vote for me.
Jeremy, if you didn't want to be used as a prop, you shouldn't have been so damn fine. I don't know what to tell you.
I'll take it.
And yeah, Alexa's
Amanda shaking
right.
her head like she doesn't also
it
think that
took
Jeremy's
two
fine.
people
Get
to
out of here.
replace Jake.
For the first time in 50 years, says Donald Trump, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home, leaving more housing and more jobs for Americans. And this is just, in addition to being kind of funny, it's also sad to me, because brain drain from other countries is good. If you want money from other countries pouring into America, if you want the resources from other countries here and for us benefiting from them, then you want immigration. If we're seeing reverse migration and much that forcible, I don't know that's necessarily a positive thing. And more housing and more jobs for Americans, again, the government does not have a right to determine who has the right to what personal property. So this is a speech. And again, was not expecting anything crazy about war declarations, but that's what he does, right? Like, he gets you expecting it. And then people watch and they're disappointed. It's a shit show. I would tell you.
I don't think anyone disagreed.
No. We have, by the way, on the subject of reverse migration, this is a story that appeared in Reason that I wanted to touch on. The man who is 37-year-old, I think, who exposed China's Uyghur concentration camps is being targeted. Targeted for deportation.
That was pretty awful.
Kyle just got nabbed.
Finally.
But yeah.
Oh. Thought we were finally rid of them.
Targeted for deportation by ICE at the behest of the Chinese Communist Party. So again, he fled China in 2021. He eventually arrived in the US by boat, and he's been living in New York, working as an Uber driver and a food delivery guy. In August, ICE detained him when he admitted that he
a food delivery guy.
First it was our Chinese restaurant owners. Now it's our
he
That's what it says.
delivery.
It says working as an Uber driver and food deliverer.
They asked him, "What do you do?" And he says, "I do food delivery."
Yes. I don't know what to tell you. Was detained in August, so he hasn't, I don't know if he's still doing food delivery, but admitting that he initially entered the country illegally. So he would either be deported now to Uganda and likely then to China, or directly to China. Once again, this is the man who broke the news about the Uyghur concentration camps. He was a citizen journalist who downloaded satellite coordinates of these concentration camps that were alleged not to have existed. He shared them with BuzzFeed News. BuzzFeed broke the story about this persecution of ethnic and religious minorities.
Don't give things to BuzzFeed. Send them to us. We can break way better stories than BuzzFeed, and we won't even give you a listicle to do it.
So I do think, like, in terms of messaging and how we approach an issue, like, it would behoove the libertarians to sort of agree on some certain things, because this issue is getting real divisive in places in the party too. And I think that we sort of need to acknowledge that we didn't talk about immigration again when Biden was in, and he's allowing like welfare to go to incentivize people to come here who aren't necessarily pursuing other positive opportunity. And I think the right dramatically overplays how significant this was, but it was going on. And that's a form of sort of market manipulation too. And by not pushing back on that, I feel like we sort of lose one side of the argument. And now we get to the place where we have ICE acting like the Gestapo, completely unaccountable to anyone. We're just for being Spanish, you're getting locked up for 3 days. You could be a citizen and a veteran.
Yeah, we're up to how many confirmed citizens being abducted and
An absurd
cases
amount.
released days later?
And further,
If they're
we have really
Yeah, I
good
mean-
pro-immigration arguments, but what was going on with immigration before was sort of the opposite of what we think
Well,
an open border should look like.
Well, yeah, if
Well,
you're being
I-
promised government
Exactly.
handouts,
And it's all, again, it's just the uniparty, one side and the other doing terrible things.
I've
And I
been
just-
saying for a long. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, the last thing I was going to say is I hate to see us fall into the trap the duopoly sets of like planning verbal landmines to turn people against each other.
Right.
but I don't see a verbal landmine in, I mean, because we didn't have a certain, we didn't take a certain tactic with one administration's immigration policy that doesn't make it illegitimate if we critique the
No,
next.
I don't
think
think
we
it
should
is.
stop looking at it in terms of immigration. Like, okay, what immigration? Like, when you think immigration, you think people moving into the country, finding a place to live. You know, then they're responsible for getting a job, making a living. What we had, like, there were genuine instances of people like not really immigrating, but being trafficked into the country for who knows what purpose. I'm sure there are many different purposes: labor trafficking. Certain political parties benefit because they think that they're going to get votes from importing, they think they're going to get a population that votes for them long term. Possible military service. Like, I'm sure there were a whole host of reasons, but it wasn't really a case of immigration. I think it's actually a lot more beneficial to look at it in terms of human trafficking. So, yeah, there genuinely were cases like of people being flown into the country, then, you know, put up in hotels for an extended period of time. So that's not really immigration. Like, you know, these people were told that, you know, they'd be taken care of. A lot of them come from countries that the U.S. through its foreign policy has made unlivable. Now they're being told, hey, you can come live here. We'll help you out for a while. Like, of course, who wouldn't say yes to that? So
Sure. I'm more
it takes
referencing
the blame off the people. I think it's actually important because it gets people to stop looking at them in terms of, you know, invaders. Like, they're not in the wrong. They're being used either way.
I'm more
And now
referencing
they're
people
being
that
used
came
as
over, though, and
scapegoats
just
by
got
this
welfare.
administration.
Like, people got on WIC, people got welfare checks, and that's just
Right.
an incentive to come here.
Right.
Like,
I think
be
it's more
clear,
of a
do see-
trafficking
I
issue.
don't think our
you know?
position is in any way delegitimized. I agree with you, probably lockstep on immigration from the beginning. I'm just saying, in terms of messaging, when we have a comprehensive response to an issue, I hate to see us get pulled into going against the side that we see as being worse at the time and leaving out the part of messaging that actually some of them might listen to.
Right. Well, and I think Rose brings up another interesting point in talking about comprehensive messaging. Really, the framing this as an immigration issue is valid. And at the same time, that is not the whole of the issue. It's militarization.
Yes,
of
that too.
law
Even if you think that
enforcement.
we should be enforcing the border, that's not what's happening.
Right.
Like, with what we're seeing from ICE and DHS can be described as a reign of like a terror campaign. Okay, running around like people are walking up, like the videos of people walking on the street and suddenly a smoke bomb goes off or a
Like a
pepper bomb
dystopian
goes
movie.
off or something. Like, yeah, people just being run off the road and having their windows smashed, being dragged out of their cars and disappear. Like, this is not just securing the border. This is breaking down doors at 4 a.m. Like, this, there's no way this ends well. Even if you think that, even if you think that for as long as we have a state, we should be limiting immigration, this goes far beyond
is-
just limiting immigration.
It is to get people used to, and I again, I'm not talking about there's some grand conspiracy, but this is what happens. This is the conditioning that occurs. It is to get people used to having their doors broken down at 4 a.m. and getting their face planted into the pavement when they're 5 months pregnant.
Uh-huh.
It's
Yep.
getting people used to that so that it doesn't matter. The next administration that comes along, I don't care what party they claim to be, can do it for whatever reason they like to you
I mean,
and to anyone else.
It's not a
they've been. Oh,
conspiracy,
go ahead.
right? It's just the natural progression. Like, of course, this is what power does. This is how it works. And then they invent narco terrorists and fishing boats, and now we're gonna go to war, and it's all connected. And then if you speak out against the war, you're gonna be like a narco terrorist yourself or something, and then kick your door in.
So I have a jump back in the conversation here,
Are we going back to the transgender question?
way further back. Sorry.
Kyle has an
Okay.
announcement, is what he's saying.
Someone sent me the interview between Fox News and the Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, which I'm going to very much struggle to not get backwards here. And there's 5 lines of this that's got to be read. Fox.
Okay. Are you going to read them?
Yep. Fox.
Okay. Can do funny voices.
If you cut
Yeah,
something by
feel
100%, the
feel
cost
free to
goes
read
down
them.
to 0. If you cut it by 600%, the drug companies are actually paying you. Lutnick. What he's saying is if a drug was $100 and you bring it down to $13, it's down 7 times. That's not a 600% cut. But it's 700% higher price
Wait,
before.
what is this position?
It's
Who is this?
700% now. This is the
Did he never take the SAT?
this
Did
is
he
the
not take
actual
5th
Commerce
grade?
Like this
Secretary.
is like a standard level 2 question. This is
Yes.
this is the Commerce Secretary?
Yes. This is
That doesn't
Howard
bode
Lutnick
well.
in an interview with Fox. Holy fuck. Like, I mean, he's not technically wrong. It was 700% higher than the new price before. That doesn't make it down 600%.
I mean, why are we surprised though? It's like, I mean, I was just saying, it's just they build on it.
Holy
First, we were told
shit.
Biden sharp as attack. And we're like, yeah, sure.
And
Now
now,
it's like,
they're telling
we're
us that
gonna
Trump's
make
not
up-
falling asleep when he's like,
Guys,
1 plus
math is
1
woke
equals
anyhow,
2.
okay? So I don't know. I mean, it's a
But
vibe,
it's-
okay? If it feels like it's down 700%, it's down 700%. I
1
don't want
plus
to tell
1
you.
equals 3.
oh my
He's
god.
actually rewriting mathematics now. It's fantastic. Only good things.
Are
Is
we
there anything
winning?
good today? This is a
What?
depressing
there
conversation.
anything
Do we
good
have any
today?
good news? Is there something?
Yeah, look at Amanda's hair.
Oh yeah, it does. It looks really nice.
Thank
I
you very much.
commented on that
I'm
before
a
we
little
started
cut off.
talking.
But is there any good? Well, Kyle's back from surgery, although he already was the last time we
Damn.
talked. So there's
Well,
that.
I mean, was he really here though last week? He
About
was,
the
he,
same.
he was here in the physical sense, yes. But
About the same.
was it real? Was all of Kyle really there?
Marijuana got rescheduled.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Honestly, I
It's
think
a-
having the surrounded warehouse is pretty good. It's like
What?
there's
Because they found a shooter, or because of who you think it is?
that would definitely be something.
Can I say something about this? The
Yes.
Brown shooting?
Yeah.
I find it hard to care extensively about that either. Do you know how many other kids were shot in mass shootings in the last 2 weeks?
Ugh, that's
How many?
It's not a huge amount, but it was 9. And that's actually roughly the average in the US for 2 weeks, which sounds like a lot until you think about there's 350 million people in the country. It's a tiny, tiny percentage. And this is not a pro gun control argument. What I have noticed is that certain mass shootings where people look a certain way, it's going to scare the people who like gun control. Those are the ones that tend to get reported. Oh, they went to Brown. That could be me. I better give money to this cause from my rich neighborhood where I have roughly a 0% chance of encountering gun violence. They want to
Are
take
you
the guns away from
saying-
people that need them.
That the establishment only reports on news stories that they can use to push an agenda? Nah,
It's-
that can't be right.
There's a reason they gave everyone in elementary school an agenda.
Well, this is what drives me crazy. I didn't do some massive research. I was like, I wonder how many mass shootings there were. And I Googled and it's like, this is how many on average. This is how many in the last 2 weeks. It took a minute. People can't take 1 minute to just, I don't know. Sorry, I'll keep bitching about this one. So
No, that's
I
fine.
get worked
I
up,
want
I get worked
positive
up
news,
about
but-
this because both sides do it. One side's
Oh, yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, those were narco terrorists.
Rob, don't have both side-isms here. Come on. You have to choose one of the uniparties.
To me, it's both sides of the uniparty coin. Is it the blue side or
yeah.
the red side? But it's
Absolutely
great.
true.
It's crazy. It's so easy to verify some of these things, and then we're conspiracy theorists.
Well, I mean, we kind of are, but also we're correct.
That doesn't mean we're wrong.
Right?
Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not out to get you.
What you missed is some talk about how Trump is fucking insane. Argument on if Trump's first term was good. A touch on how New Hampshire is still insane, and
Amanda's haircut.
Amanda's haircut. My back is less crippled. And then,
Is it less crippled because you're lying down?
would you like me to stand? I'm pantsless.
No, I just
can finally have her ass
you're
stand.
lying down. No, I'm just saying that you're lying down rather than sitting up, and so what? Clearly,
You don't have any
the back is still.
This is just his best
You've
Pat
been
Ford
talking to me about it all
impression.
day.
This is clearly how I sit
There
now.
we go. You're just behind a starry or in front
Yeah.
of a starry night.
So you
Starry
see,
backdrop.
the thing is, Van Gogh was colorblind. And as a colorblind person, he's my favorite artist thereby. And Starry Night thereby is very high on my list of paintings. So I have Starry Night behind me. Yeah.
Have you
Yeah,
ever
provided.
been to the Van Gogh Museum?
No, because I don't give a shit about Van Gogh.
Oh, I thought you were being serious. I like Van Gogh. I went to the Van Gogh
No, I'm-
Museum. I
I
was in Amsterdam.
I have a very weird
It was a fun trip.
relationship with art.
Keep going. What's your weird relationship with art? It's intriguing.
This is very intriguing,
Like-
actually.
I owned an art business, a successful art business. But also generally as a rule don't care about art.
Neither do I. I don't
As
believe
someone
in
who was
aesthetics.
dragged to art museums,
I mean, I believe all
I've been
aesthetics are
admitted with
utility.
you, that's
art
not
museums as a
surprising.
kid, yeah.
Just real quick, like that's not at all surprising. I apologize, Rose. Please continue.
I believe aesthetics are utility. Like I do have aesthetic preferences, but they come
That's
down
like
to
That's why she
utility.
got her
oldest
haircut
shit
to the side.
someone's ever like. I've never heard something that just, and then I'll stab you in the fucking arteries.
As a
Please
reminder,
continue,
Amanda
Rose.
Griffiths
No,
for
no,
vice chair.
Can't remember what. You guys were saying something about hating art.
See, and I
yeah.
won't blow
No,
the
what she
LP's
said is
budget,
she
so hang
doesn't
on.
have feelings, but she understands that art exists,
I-
and
that's
some people like it. Not that she gets why, but sure, we could put it up in their room to distract them for a minute
It's
There we
while
go.
I stabbed
There
them in
we
the
go.
arteries.
at the end of this story arc with the LP, Amanda will turn into the camera and say, "I now know why you cry," and that will be.
What the fuck is happening?
I think Rob followed me. That's fine.
I don't know what
Sorry.
I
I'm
have
trying
no
to have
idea
fun.
what's
It was
happening
just a
right now.
depressing conversation for so long. Today was not a good day for like the country and the people.
It's true. The last couple have not been. It's. I mean, you know, as libertarians, the last 55 years have been garbage as far as politics goes. But it's been impressive
We
the
have good
way that
days
it's
sometimes.
deteriorated
Yeah.
in the last
Yeah.
6 years.
I mean, things accelerate. Innovation accelerates innovation. Tyranny accelerates tyranny. Revolution accelerates revolution. Everyone.
I'd get that quoted on a plaque for
Aesthetics
you,
don't
but
accelerate.
apparently it would just serve a purpose.
No, because that would be useful. Okay. No, I'm totally fine with having like a black and white picture of me and some quote like over Amanda Griffiths. I think that's fine. That's fine. Revolution accelerates revolution. Amanda Griffiths, picture of me looking sexy. I'm a fan of
I
that.
think she'd like just a
so-
giant photo of her on the wall doing like a pose. Yeah, black and white.
Honestly, if we could just make the backdrop of
Well,
the,
no, it
the
needs a red
convention,
background.
just that poster of fair.
The,
yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
Like the bow one, and
You
know,
walk
it's
into Amanda's living room and it's nothing but like tasteful shots of Amanda in different scenarios with quotes of Amanda underneath them.
That'd actually be pretty funny.
I have so many good
It's,
quotes. You know, I'm not great at
Behind
everything.
her couch, she's got one of like the tastefully lazing Amanda's with a and
Rose, do you
just
like art?
welcome to my Amanda room.
I feel like this stuff would
Draw me
actually
like one of your
sell
Polish
pretty
books.
well if we had it in the LP Alliance store. New
I
merch
will
line.
absolutely. We
New
can
merch
make
line.
a
I feel
quote.
like I
of
don't want
me.
to know if it would. It's a little weird if it does, isn't it?
It can be tasteful nudes of LP Alliance members with quotes of theirs. So
That would sell.
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
we
if I
get
have
our
a
It would get our
Tasteful
podritarians to
nudes.
convention.
guys. It's the last 10 minutes of the show. Anything goes. All right. Amanda Guevara shorts. I like kind of a black and white kind of cutout, hair blowing in the wind, looking off in the distance.
But yeah, Rose.
Sure.
Rose, do you like art?
Oh yeah, well, previously, I think I was just about to trauma dump on all of you by talking about how I was dragged to art museums as a child, and now I really hate art.
I grew up in DC.
So I'm on.
like, I
wait,
mean,
there's
I
4
feel
people
that.
on here, and 3 of you hate art.
Yeah.
Oh my god, the
I
robot
don't
won.
hate it. I just don't. I just
Look,
I can look at a piece of art and
You
say,
can- you
okay,
can
that,
say
hey, that's
hate, but I
nice.
told you I
anyway,
owned an
I'm
art
gonna move on
museum.
with my life. I don't understand how
Yeah,
people
it
stand
served a
there in
purpose.
an art museum for like hours and hours staring at paintings. I'm like,
I like doing
I'm
that.
like, we already looked at them. Can we please leave now? I'm bored.
You sound like my kids.
we had to do that in school because I lived in DC and we had to do that. You'd always be like, "What did you learn at the art museum?" Like, I didn't learn any
you looked
fucking
at
thing at the art
pictures.
museum. You should have taken me to the history museum across the street where they had dinosaurs.
they
I
didn't-
would have written you a paragraph about what I
Natural
learned about the
History Museum
dinosaurs.
is sick,
So,
though. I mean, that's
They
not a
didn't
fair.
I
let Amanda
learned-
walk to the museums though.
That's well, this is in
They
school.
were
This is-
terrified that she'd step on a grate and be gone forever.
I was about what I learned about the art museums is that they have chocolate pudding in the cafeteria. That's the one thing that I remember from the Smithsonian Art Museum. So you know,
You don't even
the Art
eat
Institute of
chocolate pudding.
Chicago has falafel. I just said I learned that they had chocolate pudding in the cafeteria. I didn't say I ate it. I thought it was interesting.
Hey, Kyle, if I have a painting, like a legit painting that I'm trying to sell, would you offline be able to help me navigate that?
We're just doing
I can try.
this is just LPA business hour now.
This
This
is
the
the
business list.
business
So I
list,
guess
Amanda.
that's
We
fair.
don't even have to do our meeting.
The art conversation is interesting.
I have written an entire that like no one should ever see because it's just random stuff. But like I've written an entire, don't call it a treatise, Amanda,
Too late.
on what I believe aesthetics are / their relationship to utility, and why I love brutalism.
So if someone was going to meet you that had not met you before and asked me what you were like,
Yeah.
I would take that clip and just play it for them.
I don't know what that's mean or what.
I mean, it's
I
accurate.
don't
It's not
know.
good or bad. It's just an
It's
observation.
just how I am. I mean, again, you don't have to worry about me blowing the LP budget on art, unless it's tasteful nudes of me with quotes of things that I've said
That's fair.
in black and white.
We've
Black
alleviated
and white
that
is cheap-
concern.
cheaper print anyhow.
People had mentioned
Yeah.
it before too, so they were worried about me doing it.
Yeah.
I'm a
Well,
little-
Alexa,
I like
chocolate
art.
pudding being in a cafeteria isn't particularly interesting. It was just the most interesting thing that I could find about the art museum in DC. I was like 9 or
What
7.
did
One of those numbers.
like totally unrelated? I'm just curious. What did you do for fun as a child or now?
Well, now
Do you-
revolution.
Do you believe
And also
in,
as a child,
do you believe
revolution.
in fun?
She has an
Um,
article from the
I
5th grade where
built-
she started a revolution at her school. In fact,
That's
I
basic.
I
believe-
tried that. I tried to get a
I was
homework
in
strike
union
going.
actually. But
Strike
you
going.
which is called Baby's First Coup, PAB for all patrols are bastards. What fun? Yes, I believe in fun, but I believe that fun should also be enriching and useful. I believe that people should find meaning in what they spend most of their lives doing, and that should be fun. I don't believe
And that's why she
in.
doesn't believe in marriage.
No, I don't. I don't believe in things like Kyle's Capybara Go game. Let's put it that way.
Holy shit!
What?
I don't know what game that is, but
It's just a random game.
I mean, I
It
play a lot of video
doesn't
games.
contribute to society.
She did watch a lot of Cheburashka. You're correct.
I watched Cheburashka. I play the piano. I wrote actually a lot. Which explains many things.
Her parents would love for her to have fun.
Would they?
Compared to you, yeah.
What do you
Amanda's
mean compared
way
to
harder
me?
on herself.
Why?
Than, like,
Why is this a therapy session right now?
Oh, I'm not. I'm teasing a little bit to try and make this lively after the depressing part, but it's really just interesting. If you want to be
Well-
utilitarian and that makes you happy, go for it. I'm
Rob
totally
did
opposite.
study psychology, so there's.
I love
So,
art. My basement has way too much. And
I'm going
to be
to-
like lying in the grass for 2 hours can be one of the most wonderful things in the world as long as you're doing what you need to do.
I'm bringing
I'm
back
the
the
opposite.
RLC thing that I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Phil had a good comment.
Phil did have a good comment. Amanda, please stop assembling AK-47s and play with the crayons.
I didn't want to play with the crayons.
Um,
I did
I
pretty
mean,
much
you don't really
single-handedly break
play
down my
with
own.
crayons, Jen. I mean, you can if you're really bored, but most
Oh, if you're
normally you'd be
yes,
writing with crayons.
I've known
I
kids
think
that
I
could
actually do
definitely play with
remember being
crayons.
really, really bored in school, so I'd like take the crayons and pretend they like like in the
Pretend they're people.
nursery,
Like, yeah,
in
everything's
nursery school. Yeah, you
anthropomorphized.
take
Yeah,
I thought
I
you
did
were
it
gonna
with
say
silverware at
cigarettes.
crayons and
restaurants.
pretend they're people.
I did that with silverware at restaurants. Yeah.
So, crayons are how it was discovered I was colorblind, because they had asked us to make a Christmas scene, and my teacher called my mom out into the hallway, like when she'd come to pick me up, and she was like, "Has he ever been tested for colorblindness?" And she pulls the photo out, and my Christmas scene, Santa and his sleigh were brown instead of red suit, and I didn't know the difference. Our crayons didn't have wrappers on them, so I got the one that was Santa colored, which is the brown one. And the tree was brown because it's the brown one. Everything is brown.
Are
And then there's
you
blue.
fully colorblind?
Yes.
I'm very
Yeah.
colorblind.
Interesting.
I am low red and no green colorblind. I'm two different colorblinds.
My brother-in-law's deaf in one ear, and they found this out when
That's
he was
similar.
very young. And no, because it reminded me.
They actually put on the license, you're color deaf.
Colored. So the doctor found this out and told the parents, and his mom says to his dad, "Do you think we should tell him?" And the dad goes, "I think he probably knows." So they never
Oy.
told him; he just figured it out. You're going to talk about the RLC.
Yes.
I just had no comment on that. I'm neither blind nor deaf.
So it is true that they do
Shut
put
up,
color deaf
man.
on your license if you're color blind.
All right,
color
RLC,
deficient.
RLC.
Mhm.
Trying to help you get back on track because I'm the
Gotcha.
one who
Yes,
derailed you.
So the LPA stream is red because, or this one's red because Devin did this one, and that's the
It's a
color
cool
they chose
color.
early on.
It's a cool color. Anyway,
He's one of
RLC.
those
Red is a
leftist
hot color.
infiltrators that we've
Red
been
is a
warned
warm
about.
color. Blue is a cool color. God, how do I teach you color theory? I can't even see them. But
Do you have a story about the RLC? Because you were trying to get back
Yes.
to it the entire. Okay.
yeah, you guys keep derailing me. I'm the one on oxycodone.
Gosh.
So LP Michigan has had recently a video come out from the Mises Caucus, combined with their new executive director, Amber, whatever her name is, who is
Harris.
with the Republicans. Harris? Is it Harris?
I thought it was Harris.
It's Harris.
I knew
yeah.
it was with an H, and I was going to say Heard,
I
but I was
think.
like, it's not Heard.
It's not
Um,
Amber Heard. Amber Heard is
That would
not
be interesting.
with the Mises Caucus.
She might be.
At
That would
this
explain a
point,
lot.
nothing surprises me. Who they try to put up
So-
as one of the faces of their organization.
So, the thing that they were talking about in this is that it may be time for the Mises Caucus and Mises-minded people to abandon the Republican Party and come to the Libertarian Party.
No.
That was the best no ever.
Well, I mean, like
Yeah,
that's
how
clearly
about-
to get more. It's the same strategy, right? Just get more people to
Yeah.
infiltrate the Libertarian Party. Yeah, it's tired.
Yeah, so how about just not doing that instead?
My understanding is that they have brought a total of about 30 people toward Michigan over the last few months. And they're not going to meetings, they're not doing anything. They've signed up and
Well,
they're
told
just
not to.
waiting for the...
They're genuinely told not to.
Yeah. They're just waiting for the fucking convention.
But see, this was what very early on, I and I'm sure others, because talked to others, identified as a key flaw with the Mises strategy is so there was a time when you could have a very rigid kind of top-down hierarchical movement system where you have the people who are executing the orders on the ground and the orders are coming from an elite. But because everything is distributed these days and intelligence is so distributed and data is so distributed, you actually need distributed movement evangelization as well. And so everyone who's part of that movement needs to be empowered to engage in that movement in an individual way.
Mhm.
And caucus leadership, in many cases, did not permit that. And so people were shut off and ultimately either turned on the caucus or dropped out or went and became leadership themselves and perpetuated the same kind of system, but there was always a culling kind of period.
Right. Like there was
Um,
like early on, like way back when I joined, like it was not nearly as centralized. Like the different chapters did operate with a certain degree of autonomy. Like New York chapter was fun for a while. I had a ton of local people where we'd get together and do our own thing and would hang out. And yeah, we had different, like some would start like book clubs where they'd read Man, Economy, and State. Others would run for political office at the local level or do activism. But yeah, over time, it became increasingly centralized. They became increasingly intolerant of anyone going against the approved narrative. At this point, I don't think they can go back in the direction of decentralization. I think they're going to have a much harder time finding people who are going to be true believers in the cause. Like I remember,
There's always,
you hear all
diminishing
the
returns.
you hear all these references to busing and delegates. Like I knew people who drove to different states to help in their takeover, and they did it like with their own money. They would carpool, they would share Airbnbs because they actually believed in what the Mises Caucus said that they were doing. That's gone now. Like that's like they keep trying to attract like the cryptocurrency crowd, the Joe Exotic fans apparently. Yeah, well, the RFK people who already have their own organization, and I think are not interested in the Libertarian Party.
The thing
Yeah,
that's
but they're not
perpetually
true believers
frustrating-
anymore.
It's just like it's still going. Like there are people in the Republican Liberty Caucus I wish would realize they've committed to the wrong thing and come join the party on their own. I want lots of people to come join the Libertarian Party because we have better ideas. But you don't have to change anything. Let's come over here and like take over this element and then use it. I don't even know, like, what's the point? You want to make the Republicans more libertarian? I support it. Go do it.
Yeah,
And
there's
let
a
us make
place
the
for
Libertarian Party-
Liberty Republicans trying to just influence people from within. So
I
I
want
think
Liberty
that,
Republicans, Liberty
I
Democrats,
if
Liberty
you
everywhere.
If you think you can spread liberty within one of the major parties, I fully support you
Go
leading
for it.
this party and joining and doing it from there. Like, yeah, but don't try to bring that shit into this party.
You're usurping our name, diluting our message, causing infighting in a party that we're trying to build. And like to say that you want to see the Libertarian Party succeed while your primary approach to communicating with the Libertarian Party is in ways that just divide and tear people down. Like that's all your only intent is. I'm going to do sort of the worst thing possible for the party because you need to destroy it. That's certainly not winning with ideas. I mean,
Right. You took it back to a sad place again, Rob.
Sorry.
Take back to a sad place again. No,
Well,
you're
I
fine.
felt bad
Rob
for
is
bringing,
just a
I brought
downer.
too much. I brought too much fun to your live stream, and I felt bad, so I had to take some of that fun back.
It's too aesthetically pleasing and
Oh.
not useful.
That that is a thing that's happened this week on a small scale, and I'm going to make fun of it right now.
What, making
he said-
bring too much fun to my live stream?
No, Rob said that he brought, or that too much fun was brought to your live stream.
Oh, there we
And
go.
so-
Yeah. Do we have?
Yeah.
Do you disagree
been-
with that?
No, there's
well,
been an accusation this week.
this is my podcast.
Yeah, this is Amanda's podcast. Every one of the LPA streams is apparently Amanda's podcast.
I had to
Even
learn.
the ones I'm not on. It's
I
still
didn't
my
think I-
podcast.
Also,
I just
we're
found
apparently
out
making
the
money
rest
on
of
you.
the rest of you are getting paid, and I'm not, and I had
Yeah.
to find out that
I was
way.
pissed off finding out the rest of us are getting paid because it's not coming to me. So
This podcast is sponsored by Kyle, actually.
Do you think it's a
Podcast.
bad thing though? Like, this is kind of your brainchild. You formed it. It's doing well. People love this.
It's
I didn't mean
everyone's
that as an
brainchild,
insult.
though. Like, I mean, no, but it's not my podcast, and nor should it be. It is really the product of the people who come on here and then the people who are behind the scenes.
I think you're selling yourself short.
No. I genuinely won't have that. Like, I'm happy to be part of it because it's fun. It's a lot of fun. But other people do the cool stuff, and I just say the words. But the other thing is, any money that we do make, just so everyone is clear, is part of our campaign to get at least 100 people, any caucus, no caucus, to Grand Rapids, to the Grand Rapids Revolution, to be delegates who would not otherwise have the funds to do that. So that's what the money is going to, and that's why the support the LPA sticker is for. That is what any money that this podcast makes, in quotes, goes to, just so we are completely clear.
it's true.
And with
I
that,
wasn't worried
we
about the
have-
money till you said that. Now I'm like, where is she hide this money?
No,
I'd like to know that too. Actually,
that's how she paid for the leather
Um,
jacket. Is the incredible.
The haircut.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's got a
the
haircut. Clearly, that came from the podcast funds.
Exactly. I mean, like, I got this leather jacket during the podcast. I didn't have it before the podcast started.
got a second
so I mean,
one
you put two
recently.
and two together. Not recently, actually.
October.
That was just the Trotsky leather jacket. I've just worn it for the
Definitely got
Halloween
it for
stream
Halloween.
with my massive income. All right, now I feel weird about bringing this to a close because it feels like I'm changing the subject.
Right, and also
Everyone-
our sponsor, NordVPN, and also let's see, play some mobile games, King's Quest or some shit.
If you would like to sponsor 100 Povertarians to Grand Rapids, please do scan that QR code on your screen. If you would like to get involved, go to discord.gg/LP-Alliance. Please submit your writing to thetorch.media and read the articles on thetorch.media. As always, our movement will be stronger with you. So thank you so much. Until next week. We are.
We're gonna say anarchy, and we're gonna say anarchy. Full transparency. Now I wanna see anarchists on the business list. Destroy!